drunk driving destroys lives. Here is Stephen Epstein, a top New York DWI attorney.
I have been successfully defending DWI charges for over 30 years. Please do not risk you or your family's life by driving while impaired during this holiday season. I have spent my career helping those that have made this mistake, and I'm here to help you if you need me. Please call 516-745-1500. BarkettEpstein.com.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Let's go to Professor John Yoo, and he is, of course, Professor of Law at University of California, Berkeley. And Professor John Yoo, let's get to these preemptive pardons, because there is word. We know that Biden just did the big one, not a preemptive one, but other ones recently. And there's word that he's considering a wide swath. I can think of a number of folks who might be on that list, like Liz Cheney, Fauci, Jim Biden. Your thoughts on this?
Hey guys, great to be back with you again. I worry about these pardons for this reason. The president's pardon power is very broad, and it doesn't prevent him, according to the Supreme Court, from issuing these kind of preventive pardons. But it really runs against the reason why the founders gave this power to the president in the first place. They really wanted him to have that power, one, to show justice, a sense of fairness. People might have been over-sentenced, or people have, changed their lives, done better. It's hard to say some of these pardons we're hearing about that Biden issued last week meet these terms, especially when you read about, for example, him pardoning people who stole millions of dollars from cities or sentenced kids to way higher sentences so private prisons could make money off of housing them. So that's one kind of thing. The other thing is that the pardons are there to really help the United States government break up conspiracies. And so I don't really see the case for issuing pardons to someone like a Dr. Fauci or even like a Liz Cheney. And I take them at their word that they don't think they did anything criminal. So they have every right, people don't realize this or know this, but they have every right to turn down the pardon. If you're innocent, don't take a pardon and defend yourself. I think that's what our founder system really set up.
Yeah, absolutely. Professor John Yoo, Judge Weinberg.
John, good to talk to you again. In fact, you have to accept responsibility and accept guilt when you take a pardon. Isn't that correct?
Yes. And actually, the Supreme Court has said if the person doesn't take the pardon, if they turn it down, then there's no pardon.
Let me ask you on a preemptive pardon. Obviously, there's no acceptance of guilt, right? I mean, would it be the same standard if you were to stretch it?
If there's no crime, how do you pardon a person with no crime?
And that's the thing that has always been troublesome. But the Supreme Court has said that the president can pardon people for acts, not just the crime, before it's even investigated or charged. Now, that's very generous reading. You could have read the Constitution and thought the power was much narrower than that. It should only cover, people who are actually under prosecution or people who have actually been convicted in court. But the earliest pardons by George Washington were what we would call preemptive today. But they were supposed to be, I think, in very rare circumstances. And again, only when it was really necessary the founders talked about this, to break up a plot against the United States. And so I don't think that the founders thought the president would use his pardon power to save his friends, save his family members from any kind of investigation for things they did that were really criminal. Or, for example, to to give everyone in your own administration immunity from prosecution, even when they've broken the law.
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing that that's even being discussed, and there are people saying that it's actually being discussed in the Biden administration. Craig Eaton.
I think it's shameful what Biden and the administration are doing right now. I mean, there is a sound principle in why pardons should be given out, but they shouldn't be given out in the manner and method they're giving them out, to protect his friends and preemptively protect his friends and people that work for him for errors and misgivings that they did while he was in office. I mean, it's shameful and it needs to stop.
Well, put it differently, he's doing it to fix the problem that he created.
Yes.
Because he created this lawfare idea of using prosecution to punish people from the last administration, here Donald Trump, or his legal advisors or his campaign advisors, or to use criminal prosecution to knock out future rivals for office. Again, Donald Trump. We had over 200-year history of never doing that with prosecutions. But if you unleash that, now Biden realizes, oh my God, Trump could do the same thing to us now. I better pardon everybody.
Yeah, can you imagine? And there would be an uproar. Before we let you go, Professor Yoo, your thoughts, did you see this, that Judge Merchan in the New York case, essentially said that there's no immunity, that it doesn't cover President Trump on a particular aspect. This is on the hush money case, essentially also kicking the can down the road, at least for now, and keeping the sentencing. Can you imagine? It's like, okay, he gets out in 2029. He's not saying the sentencing is going to be over. It could be hanging over President Trump the whole time he's in office.
I think Judge Merchan is wrong. I think he's misread the Supreme Court case. The Supreme Court case clearly says that trial judges shouldn't use evidence that are produced by White House officials, that are produced when the president's in the White House, even if you use it to try to convict him of things he did outside the White House, because the Supreme Court said that would interfere with the president's ability to conduct the powers and duties of his office. So unfortunately, I think the best thing now for Trump would actually be to get the sentencing done right away so that he can appeal this all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court, where I think if they go by what they just said over the summer in the immunity case, they would reverse Judge Merchan and either throw out the whole thing or order a new trial.
Do you agree, Judge Weinberg?
I think that it's absolutely shameful on this because the whole trial was tainted by allowing in those presidential communications.
Merchan is not going to throw it out. It's not going to do.
No. But there are other grounds that they're moving to dismiss. But the fact is, Merchan is not going to grant any of those. So Rita's right. That sentencing to be hanging over the head. And Professor Yoo is correct. Maybe Trump should make the move to try to get this done now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Wow. I mean, who would have ever thought, it could be hanging there for 5 years. I'll get you in 2029.
It's ridiculous to hang it out there so long. The case was a sham. Fix it right now. Finish it right now. Stop holding it out. But I'm curious when this judge is up for retirement.
Yeah, do we know, actually?
If he's up for retirement in the next 4 years, he probably wants to go out with this being his legacy and maybe write another book about it or something. Who knows?
Do you know any sense on timing on that at all, John Yoo?
I don't. I mean, you have people on the call who are more expert on the intricacies of New York State judge retirement programs than me.
Do you know, Judge Weinberg?
Yes, he has to retire at the age of 70 in the calendar year. He's 70.
Do we know how old he is? I don't know how old he is.
We'll have to look it up.
We'll have to table that.
Next time we have Professor Yoo on, we'll have an answer for it.
That was a great question. Who brought that question up? I did.
He's 62. I just remembered. He's 62.
He's 62.
Right. He's 62.
So move to strike.
He's a kid.
Comment.
In other words, he's a kid.
So we'll see. Maybe he has to do your route, Professor Yoo, and do the appeals. That would be the fastest route, it sounds like. Professor John Yoo, thank you. We love having you on. It's so great to have you here.
Oh, great to be with you guys again. If I don't come back before the holidays, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year for the whole country.
Thank you, Professor Yoo. Thank you so much.
Eden Memorial Chapels understands Jewish funerals can take many forms. Some are Orthodox, while others are more conservative or of a Reformed nature. There's no one better. With services close to all New York and New Jersey cemeteries, Eden Memorial Chapels offer fair and balanced pricing and can provide easy transfer of you and your loved ones to Israel. While you're grieving, they're here to take care of all the details so that you deal with less bureaucracy and have more peace of mind. Go to EdenMemorial.com. That's EdenMemorial.com.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. While we celebrate Trump's historic win, inflation continues to drain your IRA and 401k. And China is now targeting your money with a kill shot on the dollar. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold and contacting the experts at Colonial Metals Group. Gold has protected American wealth through every financial war. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything, please go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. The experts at Colonial Metals Group are the only folks I trust to help you bulletproof your wealth with gold. Go to freegoldguide.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for a free 2024 gold guide to learn how you can protect your life's work and if you qualify for a free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver right now. freegoldguide.com/Kudlow.